Yeah, exactly. Who are you and what have you done with V? Why is Z? Am I alive? I think I'm live. I'm doing a take two interactive, aren't I? Hold on. Give me a second. I need to work this out. Apparently, I knocked by accident. I was really nervous. I'm not used to streaming. I knocked by accident a cup of coffee, and I genuinely do not know how, but it managed to shut down the entire thing. So it actually shut down my computer, even though it didn't touch my computer. I think my computer got spooked. This must be the answer to what happened. Hello, chat. Let me just figure this out. It's not going to take a while. Yeah, really nervous. Like streaming, being in the public eye, it's very difficult for me. Here we go. All right, I think we're back. Oh no, we're not. I need the camera. I need to show face. Let's see. Is this on? Should be on. Video capture device. No, it's not on. Oh, now it's on. Pair the device. The device doesn't want to be paired. Do you really want to see my skin, chat? Do you really want to see how I look like? Huh? I'll do a face reveal this stream. How about that? You know, because you guys have been such loyal viewers. I'll do a face reveal now. If my phone wants me to. You know what? Fuck it. We're probably not going to do it. I genuinely don't know what happened today. Like why is it that if the coffee cup went on the ground, why is it that the computer had to reboot? Makes no fucking sense. It's bizarre. Pair a device. Why would I? Oh, I can already select a device, and there we go. Oh my god, I fixed it. Holy shit. Video is being letterboxed. Please turn what? You know, I uploaded a picture today of myself and my wife. We went to the graduation of her sister. Like she finished dentistry. How do you go? Because it's not med school. It's like dentistry school. And I took a picture of myself, and everyone is like, "Oh my god, you look so sad." And I generally don't understand. Like, if you don't go like "he" in picture, that does mean that you're sad. You do realize that it's like one frame out of the tens of thousands of frames that happen every day. It's just God. And by the way, I hate pictures. I gotta say this. As a YouTuber, like I take videos. Like, do you know how many frames per second the video has? 60, and I make a lot of seconds of footage. So I really despise having pictures taken, but it is what it is. Okay, so I did piss off a couple of people today because I suggested that the AAA company should make more realistic depictions of women. And I showed them some of the ladies that graduated from the University of Dentistry. And a lot of people with low IQ didn't understand, like, what does dentistry have to do with AAA? And it's like, well, look at the female characters from AAA gaming and compare them to the women that you see here. Right? Like, look at it. Look at everybody. Look at it. Like, these are the doctors that graduated, right? These are, like, the women that I would see at my university. Just, and by the way, like, these are just average-looking women, you know? Like, they're not the Romanian OnlyFans, let's put it like that. They're not that, okay? Like, when I went at the university, this is what I saw. Like, this is how the other university students look like. Where are they in the representation department when it comes to AAA gaming? Because I can't see any of them. Alright, so it's just, it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. It's almost like, only California gets to be represented. Only the Democrats get to be represented. It's interesting because I even made a picture saying it's like the average McDonald's girl looks far better than any female in any Western game in any Western game, and people are like, "Oh my god, well, how? No, you posted a superstar model." No, I didn't. Like, legit, come to Romania if you are in disbelief. Your tooth suddenly hurts. Well, Coldest Beer, I'm sorry to hear that. What can I say? So, that was one thing. The picture with me and my wife. Like, do I really look that upset? Like, people keep saying that I look miserable. Like, I think I look normal. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the years are not going well on me. But other than that, like I genuinely think that like, must I smile? Must I be like in every single picture? Take into account that it was like 40 degrees outside, right? So you can see it on my face. I'm red. I stood in the sun for a little bit too long. Whatever. It's terrible. It is. Average McDonald's girl is 16. Not really. I think like at 16, most girls do OnlyFans or Twitch. They are not average in the United States where half of the population is obese. How the fuck is that my problem? I went to the hospital in Norway and it looked like a modeling school. Yeah, it's like... You should see how the modeling school looks like here. Like, no, seriously, unironically, like those women, when I say average, I don't necessarily mean like in a negative way. I want to see like if you go on the street, that's the type of women you expect to see, right? So they're not ugly, but they're not gorgeous either. Like there are women that are more gorgeous than those, and there are women that are more ugly, right? Like there are the extremes. But like, if I go out on the street, if I go to at any Romanian university, that's how I expect women to look like. Like those are like fulfilling my expectations, unlike the Star Wars movie. They go to school for modeling. Yes, absolutely, Doug. They do go to school for modeling. What you say and what people understand, eh? But now, alright, so, there's this company, Owl Games. Owlcat Games? Owlcat Games. They make Pathfinder, Wrath of the Exile. And, really great game. I recommended it. One of the best RPGs I have played since Dragon's Age, hands down. Really good writing. It had some bugs, but it wasn't that bad. They're a small studio, right? So it is what it is. Now, they happen to be a Russian studio, so they got shafted because of that. A lot of people tried to boycott them. It was difficult for them to do business. I understand that if you purchase a game made by a Russian company, it's like sending 3 times to Ukraine, but that's okay because I play Diablo. You know, like if you spend money on Diablo cosmetics, then you send like 5 NATO planes to Ukraine. That's how the wisdom of the internet works, right? Like this is how people tell you things are. Like if you purchase a Russian game, you're killing people. It's like, well, okay, if that's the case, then I'll purchase an American game and I'll save people by buying microtransactions, right? Jesus fucking Christ. No, seriously, the wisdom of the internet never ceases to amaze. But, they made a good game, and, unfortunately, now they stealthily installed a spyware on people's devices. So 2 years after the game was made, you need to consent to new terms of service, and, basically you agree for them to take your, geolocation, your RAM, your CPU data, like a lot of stuff that's private. Now, they don't say how much they can make with your data, like how much your data costs. But I assume it's probably a lot if they have to do it, right? So, the gamers were upset. Gamers boycotted, gave negative reviews, and now they withdrawn the patch. They backpedaled. And I'm thinking, you know what? Like, this is a good company. Like, they listen to the consumer. Fair enough, you know, fair is fair. I'm willing to give them a second chance. I don't know about you, chat. I don't know if you are willing to give them a second chance, but I personally do. Like, they got the customer backlash, they apologize, they remove the patch, they say that they will delete the data. Meh. What more can I want? You know, why aren't other companies like this? Why don't other companies listen to their consumer base is beyond me. By the way, this is what AAA gaming looks like. I just want to show you what phone gaming looks like. This is from a phone game, okay? Like, please, someone help me understand why is it that in 2023 phone games look more appealing and more attractive than actual AAA gaming companies? Why? Why is it? And this is like the strong, empowered woman, right? Like she has the MG42. I love the way she holds it, right? It looks like it's actually got weight to it, right? Like it's heavy. You can tell that. She's got good looks. I want to play this game, even though I know it's probably a gacha and it's trying to rob me of cash. And when you play it, it's probably nothing from what you're seeing in here. But the question is like, why the fuck? Why is this a thing? Like, why are phone games able to do this? Why is the Ushikushina's here? Look, she's got cat. She's got cat in it. But yeah, no, like it's sad. What can I say? Fucking sad. It can be done. Apparently, the technology is there, but we are never going to get it because Chinese gamers wouldn't spend money otherwise. Why can't our gamers be like Chinese gamers? Sarah, what do Chinese gamers have that our gamers don't? Why can't we have the same gamers? She could use another cup size of empowering, I see. If she didn't have anime art style, then it would be perfect. Anime art style, huge fucking guys aren't appealing. Okay, you know, like, fine, I get it. But, like, in a perfect world, you'd have a multitude of games. Like, some of them would have anime art style, some of them wouldn't. I genuinely, like, do not understand why is it that every single AAA company needs to make the most unappealing, unattractive... And it's not even that, like, it's not even, like, the physics that's the problem. It's also their personality. Every single one of them is cookie cutter toxic masculinity level. Where are the wholesome female characters in modern AAA games? Do you remember Aerith from Baldur's Gate? That elf chica? I mean, even Viconia de Vir was wholesome once you actually got to know her. And she was a dark elf, like she was chaotic evil. Morrigan from Dragon Age was wholesome once you got to know her. Tali Zora Vas Normandy was wholesome as a character. I mean, fucking god, the West used to make wholesome female characters. That doesn't exist anymore. There is no such thing as wholesome. All of them, it's like, oh, me woman, me smash patriarchy, me smash men. I beat up men, I hospitalize men. I am strong, for I am female. It's like, really? Like, is this what people want? Or is this what corporations want people to want? Are women even like that in real life? Like, again, I haven't met women like that. Most women that I met in real life don't like violence. Have a good day, everyone. Normies ruin all niches. You've already explained the different mentality when it comes to spending in the East and the West. That's actually really funny. Like, when someone explained it to me, I wouldn't believe it, but apparently it's a thing. So, in the West, if you have, like, someone that spends money on Diablo, and, you know, like, he comes up with this sword, and he's like, I spent $5,000 on this sword. Like, what do people think about that guy? It actually happened in Diablo 3, by the way. Adjusted for inflation, I think, like, the most expensive sword in Diablo 3 was $5,000, right? So, if you see someone that paid $5,000 for a virtual sword, you would laugh at them. It's like, what the fuck? Are you an idiot? Like, why did you spend so much money on a sword? Yeah, what type of loser are you? Meanwhile, if someone grinds a sword, right? Like, someone plays World of Warcraft and gets a legendary item that's very difficult to get. Everyone is clapping. It's like, oh my god, you know, like, you're so skilled. You're so talented. You played the game. Wow, like, holy shit. In China, it's literally the fucking opposite. Right? Like, in China, if you go and you show that you grinded 20 days to get an item, people will say, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, why are you spending so much time in a video game? Are you a fucking loser? Like, why do you do this? However, in China, if you spend, like, $5,000 on an item, you're a fucking Chad. It's like, look how much money this guy has. He actually managed to spend and bought the item. Like, he's probably a really hard worker. He probably makes a lot of money in his time if he can afford to spend 5G on an item. Literally, the mentality is fucking reversed. I find it to be quite fascinating and interesting. What kind of a loser is that? Is the loser who has the better sword than you? That's... yeah, I mean... Even like... no, I believe that even within, like, the game lore... if you show to someone that you spent money to buy an item that gives you an advantage, like, most people won't like that. They view it as almost like cheating. I remember in World of Warcraft when people got that retarded horse, as Old Biscuit liked to call it. People were like, ugh. You know, because you had to work really hard in order to get, like, a cosmetic horse, but you could get that for just paying money, and people didn't like that. They cut your social credit score in China if you play too much, so of course they spend money. Yeah, but, like, this was before, right? So, like, there was a time before the social credit score. And even with the social credit score cut, people still play video games in China. Like you can take a hit to your credit score and still play video games. DSP went bankrupt after the WWE Gacha game. What a hard worker. Did he? Man, how many times did DSP got bankrupt? Like, from what I understand, DSP was supposed to lose his house. But then COVID came. And with COVID, like, you had, like, an excuse for, like, paying taxes or loan or some shit. And he managed to survive his debt. Like, that was the thing. I don't know the exact technical details, but it's something like that, and it was hilarious as fuck. Pay to win is never popular and ruin the fun for others. Yeah, it is. I guess, like, this is why we don't really get those types of games in the West anymore. Like, you still have, like, pay to win on phone games. But in video games, it's more like, well, you can buy skins, you can buy cosmetics. I feel like World of Warcraft allows you to just level up to max level by paying. Rest in peace, Biscuit. Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting to see like what he would have become if he was still alive. He was becoming like very progressive and very left-leaning oriented in his late stage of life. We was like complaining about social healthcare in America, and I'm like, aren't you British? Like, aren't you a millionaire? Like, dude, I understand that you have an issue, but like, DSP lied to a boomer judge that his WWE gacha was all business expenses. The boomer judge believed him. But that's not a lie, though. It is a business expense. That, like, if you spend money on a gacha in order to live stream it, and because of that you have more people live streaming, it is a business expense. No, I'm sorry, like, the judge is right. You can't say, well, it's a boomer judge or anything like that. No, like, if you spend money on a stream, so if you spend money while live streaming and you're literally like, your business is to live stream and entertain people, no, it is a business expense. Why wouldn't it be? Unless, like, he bought the gachas while he wasn't playing. Like, if he bought the gachas outside of the live stream, then yeah, it wouldn't be a business expense. Or no, even, no, hold on, even then, even if you buy the gachas outside of the stream, if you're, like, trying to get an object so that you can show on a stream later on, it's still a business expense. Even if you didn't stream it, yeah. So, like, if I am, let's say, I don't know, does Diablo have, like, gachas? Like, let's assume Diablo has gachas. And I spend money in order to live stream it. Sorry, I spend money outside of the live stream in order to get, like, a legendary sword or some shit like that in order to show it on the stream, but I don't get it. You can still justify it as a business expense. But the problem is, like, yeah, I mean, it's a gray area. If the judge says that's a business expense, then the judge is right. Ashki Hiena. Oh, we got a furry. Pulling for hooligans. He doesn't stream champion. Why doesn't he stream champions, though? He never streamed the game? Why doesn't he stream the game? DSP would have tricked V if he was the judge. It's not a trick, though. Like, okay, let me put it a different way. Let's say that your trade, it's the way I can see it, you can make the argument it's like a teacher, you know, like they're learning the material before going to class. Like, that still counts as working as a teacher, right? Like, if you're still studying before going to class. So the question would be like, what would happen if you study and then the class is over, right? Like, okay, well, but better example. You're a teacher and you spend money to buy a book that you want to read in order to prepare for class. But then when you go to class, you don't talk about the book you bought. It's still a business expense, though, right? Because, like, you were planning to. Like, it's very difficult for a judge to prove that you weren't planning to. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, a judge would have to decide that you were never planning to stream that game, right? So, like, if DSP says, well, I was playing gachas because I wanted to get an item that I would show on stream later on, but I never got the item, so I didn't show it, it's still a business expense. He spent over 100,000 on the gacha. Jesus fucking Christ. I just, oh my god. Is your slot machine addiction a business expense? Depends what your business is. Like, if your business is to make YouTube videos about slot machines, then yeah. Why are people so shocked? I wish Ors was in the chat. Like, Ors is usually very knowledgeable about how the legal things work. Ors! Alright, question. You're a YouTube streamer, okay? Like, your business is to YouTube stream. And you're spending money on gachas, but you don't stream that game. And now you're in front of a judge. And you're saying that the gachas were a business expense. Now, you can make the claim that you are looking for an item in order to show it on stream, but because you never got the item, you never showed it. Is the money spent on gacha a business expense or not? It is a business expense, right? This is what the judge said. This is what Or says. Case closed. It's a fucking business expense. A business expense can be pretty much anything. Yeah, I mean, I will tell you this way. There are a lot of shit that you can pass as business expenses that the government process loss via non-acquisition. Oh my fucking god! Listen to that. There. Process loss via non-acquisition. See how smart I sound all of a sudden? Like, I still have my same IQ, but no, like, he did nothing wrong, unironically. My god, like, did you know, like, how many business expenses people get just because, like, the government can't prove it? Like, for example, you can go to a restaurant and say you had a business meeting. How are people going to prove that? Right? In fact, like, so many countries are putting a cap to shit like that. Like, because, like, without that, everyone can claim, well, I just took a trip all the way to another city to meet a business partner over there. Right? So, like, there are certain business expenses, and many Eastern European nations, I feel like even non-Eastern European nations, have a cap on how many of these things you can do. Like, how much money you can deduce as business expense for, like, meeting business partners. Cleaning your room, like that's another thing, right? Like, hiring... So, for example, if you have a studio, and you hire a company to clean it, technically, like, they give you a receipt, right? But, like, what if you just make an understanding under the table, and you're like, well, I don't really require the cleaning, so I'll just pay you, like, 10% of what it costs, and you allow me to keep the other. Right, like, shit like that. Same thing like a company to say attempts to buy equipment from overseas, but the ship goes down and the items don't make the destination. You can claim that the loss is a non-fulfilled expense. Yeah, pretty much. He probably said the same thing, V. I did nothing wrong. I did everything right. Yeah, but like a judge agreed with them, Zerif, so... Why do people keep picking on DSP? Mr. Ors, do you know who Darkside Phil is? I think he does. That's operating expenses, hiring, cleaning services as a part of qualified overhead costs for operating business that's taxable up to a certain amount. Yeah, see? Up to a certain amount. Like, some countries are putting cap to that shit. Let me see. Hold on. You know, like, if we showed the surströmming yesterday, today we're going to show the DSP cooking. The DSP cooking. Do we have this? Oh my god. Bugged cooking
has been paid for by the
Kojima World Order.
What's up, everyone? It's DSP, and this is an unprecedented moment.
Where's Chef Ramsay when you need him?
I'm actually doing something that some people have asked for, probably just joking around, but I find myself doing it. I am starving, so I got everything going here. What am I going to do? I'm going to whip up a couple of express mode bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Oh. Which include...
You know, like most people, when they do like cooking streams, they at least cook like something that's more difficult to make. Yes, this is DSP.
6 pieces.
This is why I say that the artist we talk about, artist is like the DSP of Twitter. Look at this.
Of white bread. Bacon, obviously. This is hardwood smoked bacon. Eggs. These are jumbo-sized white eggs. 2 frying pans. I have them both on the stove right now at just above medium strength temperature. Obviously, you must put on your fan on the top of your stove whenever you're frying anything. Don't turn that off, because I learned the hard way. As soon as I moved in here, all the alarms went off, all the fire.
God! Oh, Jesus Christ. He just moved, and I think like the fire department thought that he set fire to his house or some shit. It's like, oh no, I was just cooking like a ham sandwich.
fire alarms and it wasn't too pretty.
You fucking dick!
So, what am I going to do? We're talking 1 jumbo egg, a couple slices of bacon per sandwich, obviously 2 pieces of bread.
Yes, it is 2 frying pans to cook sandwiches. I kid you not. Like, this is something that I haven't mastered yet. You know, he's dual wielding when cooking a sandwich.
And, you know, American cheese, which I've also prepared. First thing you want to do, either butter your pans or spray them down. I don't have time to melt fucking butter. I'm in a hurry.
I don't have time to melt fucking butter. If I hear a single person complaining about the Z generation again, I will stuff this video down your throat. I don't have time to melt fucking butter. Like, how much is that? Literally, like 30 seconds or so? Right, like this is the gamer mentality, I guess. And not to mention, as people point out here, when you cook bacon, you don't really need any oil because it already has all that pork fat. I mean, it's true, right?
Hurry, I'm a gamer. So I spray my pans with this Pam. I use the natural shit, the organic canola oil. You can use the other stuff, doesn't really matter. But, alright, spray that shit, get the cap back on.
Yeah, 5 seconds if the pan is warm. I assumed it's like, in his case, like he didn't warm the pan, he just, had it like on a cold pan. So like, I would say like 30 seconds to melt the butter.
That shit out of the way.
Fuck me!
First thing you want to do when you're multitasking, as your pans are heating up, alright, cool. Your toaster's plugged in, let's get these bread toasting. Blow, blow. Let's get that to toast. It's toasting. Alright, you gotta wait for it to, you don't want to throw stuff on a cold pan. You want to wait for it to be at least warm, lukewarm.
Spit on it. Spit on it. If it sizzled, then it's warm.
I'm warming it up right now. This is starting to feel pretty good, but honestly, the other day I fried some bacon. I threw it on there too early, and it took a long-ass time to cook.
You must have some form of quality control
He fucked up the thing.
inside your brain as a cook.
The tools of the trade. You need these guys, tongs, to be flipping your bacon. You need to be grab it from the end and flip it over when it's ready. Obviously, you need a spatula to be able to flip your eggs. Duh. Don't be an asshole. Don't try to flip your eggs with things or a spatula like a spoon. I've seen people try it with a fork. It doesn't work.
Who the fuck flips the eggs with a spoon? Also, don't be an asshole. Don't flip. Okay.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Alright. So it's starting to warm up now. I think we're going to put the bacon down. Obviously, depending on what kind of bacon you have.
Yeah, good point. You know, Mr. Orange noticed something that it eluded me. He's already toasting the bread before the ingredients are done. That is a good point.
Different cooking times apply.
But by the way, Orange, you haven't seen anything yet. Like, this is like the foreplay. Like we haven't got into the fucking yet. Apparently, I have been told that his bathroom flooded, and we're going to see as why that is in a bit.
This looks like a particularly fatty batch of bacon, which I'm kind of pissed off about because I didn't know that.
Ready?
That's literally a good thing. Like, you shouldn't put butter in the pan, and you just let the pig grease be the oil. Okay, whatever.
Hey, congratulations.
Oh my god, the bacon's not even coming apart. Ugh. Ugh.
That is the sound I want to listen to when someone makes a cooking video. That is, you know, like, you're trying to learn how to make pork sandwich, and like hearing the person go like, ugh, is literally what I'm into.
That is really fatty bacon. Holy shit.
Yeah, then add more oil, put more butter.
Not too happy about that. Actually, because I just had a batch of center cut bacon.
That's actually like a good question. Like, why is he buying the cheapest bacon available?
Center cut almost has no fat on it whatsoever. And this is the complete
Like,
opposite.
this is literally more fat than actual meat. Like, look at this shit.
This is super fatty bacon right now. Ugh.
Like, even he is disgusted with what he purchased. Like, look at it. Like 3 out of 4 quarters of the bacon is white.
Sandwiches, which means I probably want 2 to 3 pieces of bacon per sandwich. Being this
There's like probably a single piece of actual bacon in that pack. No wonder Americans are so fat.
Bacon is gigantic. I'll probably only try to do 2 pieces of bacon per sandwich. So
2.
now I'm really pissed because 2 pieces of bacon just stuck together, and that's like the death wish. You can never get 2 pieces of bacon to separate with one fucking hand.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on.
First batch.
I by the way, like, real props to the people that added Chef Ramsay here. Like, good touch.
Of bread is good. Pop in the next batch, toast it. Now the toughest part is cracking the egg.
You're joking, aren't you?
'Cause I suck at cracking eggs.
Cracking the egg is the toughest part. I mean, you know, you get a little bit of nuggets of wisdom if you listen carefully.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna put the camera down for a second and throw the eggs into the frying pan here because I'm gonna make a fucking huge mess.
You're useless, you know that.
Here are my eggs, 3 eggs in the pan. I love runny eggs, I do. I love runny eggs. So when I cook eggs,
I think like one of the most disgusting foods in the universe is runny eggs, unironically.
I usually cook them and move them out of the way of each other first of all. I don't want them amalgamating into one big egg. There we go. Oh, my toast just popped, which is fine. I'm gonna let this fry. This egg got out of hand. There we go. You want to put them about roughly the same size.
By the way, Mr. Orders, if you haven't seen DSP playing video games, it's kind of like this, but worse.
Alright, my toast popped. Get that toast out of there. Last set of toast is now going in. Bam, bam. Toast. I have a really shitty toaster, by the way, so if your toaster actually works, you probably won't have these problems.
You know, usually before making a stream, like a cooking stream, you want to make sure that at least the stuff you're using in the kitchen works. Because otherwise people will laugh at you. A toaster is not that expensive. Like, if you're a streamer, you can afford buying a new toaster if you want to make, like, cooking videos.
My fucking toaster just does not want to work. Jesus Christ. It's looking like my 3rd fucking sandwich. Oh, there we go. I finally got it to stay down. Holy shit. Alright, so our bacon is looking horrible. Pretty much because I had to pull...
Again, I just want to stress out, when you're making a cooking video, there are several things you do not want to include. The word horrible. Ew. You know, like, you don't really want to put this in.
With one fucking hand. But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Frying.
I just want to remind people, there was controversy where his wife was sick, and he was screaming from downstairs, asking his wife to cook him food. And a lot of people were upset. It's like, what type of man does this? You know, like, dude, she is sick. Like, you should cook for her. However, upon further analysis, I do believe that his wife doesn't want to be poisoned by him. So she may have told him beforehand, it's like, look, I know I'm sick, but I will cook. Like, I can still cook. Like, please, oh God, don't cook. And you're going to see later on, like, that it gets worse.
It's cooking. It looks disgusting. It's all good. This bacon's almost ready to flip, but we'll leave it sit there for a second. These eggs, we are going to flip soon. They're almost ready to flip. See, they're solid now. See,
By the way, do you guys flip the eggs? I never flip the eggs. And I have good eggs. I mean, maybe like I'm doing it wrong. Like, are you supposed to flip them? Unironically, like, do they not cook properly if you just leave them there?
see, this is how you know when to flip your eggs. When they're solid, the yolk is still bright yellow, but they look like there's no more liquid on the top. That's when you flip them. So I'm going to flip these now.
Oh, come on. Fucking hell.
Problem is I'm trying to do it with one fucking hand.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong to flip them. It's just like I never do it and they're tasty, so...
There we go. That was a clean flip. That's how you do it.
You're not good enough.
If you're going to put cheese on your eggs, you got to put it on right away. As soon as you flip an egg, put the cheese on. So I'm getting the cheese ready here. It's stuck to my fucking hand, so that doesn't help. Throw that fucking cheese right on top.
When are you
Oh
gonna
my god, there's actually a name for it. Sunny side up and sunny side down. Now it makes sense.
fucking shut up?
There's the cheese right there. All the bread is now done. I'm doing all this with one hand. So if I can cook these with one hand, you can fucking do it.
I'd rather fuck off for a burger.
I'm ripping the cheese.
You know, there are devices that allow you to set the fucking camera in a way so that people can see you while you're cooking and you have both hands. Just saying.
With one hand.
You're fucking useless.
We're gonna have to start migrating the,
You know, the funny part is, like, Mr. Ors, he makes, like, really good YouTube videos, but, like, he struggled so hard to get the perfect setup. Meanwhile, DSP, oh, let me show you how I cook with one hand. They're like, oh, there we go. Oh, toaster isn't working. Oh.
start migrating the eggs over to the plate, which obviously is not big enough to hold 3 sandwiches.
Did it occur to you to use the second plate?
So I should have put 2 fucking plates down, but I'm
Ah,
not
there we go.
that smart.
Where's your fucking brain?
Alright.
There's shit all over the kitchen. Look at this. Look at this, like, big, thick wad of grease just falling from the fucking pan. Look at it. Oh my god. And he's walking barefoot. He's going to burn his foot.
Number 1. Bam. Egg number 2. Sounds like Mass Effect just finished, the Mass Effect DLC. Bam. Hopefully those are still running. Egg number 3, they're probably not, which is going to piss me off. Eggs are on the sandwiches that quickly. We're going to get the bacon the fuck out of the way here. Let's see. Look at this burn-ass fucking bacon. Before you ever take bacon off the plate, you have to shake it. You have to get the excess grease off of it. You slap it down on the plate, you slam it around a little bit, you
Oh my
flip
god,
it.
that is so fucking disgusting. What the fuck is that? What is that shit? Looks like a fucking snail that is squirming in agony. I have never seen so much grease on meat. And it makes sense, right? Because he added the butter. He had like extra greasy bacon. Used 4 of them in the same pan. And probably overcooked it as well. Like, from the looks of it, it's overcooked. So, this is probably going to be disgusting and vile.
You do the same thing on the paper towel, you slam it around a little bit.
Oh my god. Dude, I think you need like 7 more paper towels for that shit alone.
Bam. Well, I sound like fucking Emerald. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you can fuck yourself.
That's right, you talk with an accent and you say sound effects, and that's how you sell fucking cooking equipment. Alright. This piece barely cooked, because it must have been on the edge of the pan, so that's gonna go...
How the fuck did you manage to get like certain pieces almost burned and one that's barely cooked?
right there in the middle. I'm actually gonna migrate these over here.
The sad thing is that the one that's barely cooked actually looks more edible than the rest.
So while those finish up, do not leave a pan on if there's nothing cooking. I'm turning that off right now.
So he left the pan on all this time instead of turning it off. Like, for 3 minutes he left the pan for no reason. I mean, no wonder the fire department came in the first time he started cooking.
Turned it off. You can leave that pan on the stove, but don't leave fucking pans on cooking, trust me. I've walked up 2 hours later to see, oh shit, my stove...
Jesus.
is still on. I'm an asshole.
Stupid fucking fat mouth bitch.
The bacon, as you can see, is going ape shit right now. That's because one side was cooked, the other side was cold because I hadn't had it in an area where it could cook, and also there's a shitload of grease in this pan right now. But as you see, look, this bacon looks cooked now.
And honestly, if you ever feel bad with your cooking, you watch a DSP cook video and you feel really good about your abilities. Like, it gives you a lot of confidence.
It's pretty nasty looking. It's not exactly the prettiest bacon on the planet, but it'll do.
Cooking my ass!
Yeah, I think now is the time where we notice the epic failure. Because up until now, it was a little bit of the foreplay. But if you pay attention now, you're going to witness the miracles.
Thing. Your food's done. Your food's cooked. Right? These are the tips no one's gonna tell you.
Alright. The tips that no one is going to tell. Probably for a good reason.
Yeah.
Bacon grease. What the fuck do you do with it? Well, there's several options. You can put it in a jar.
Yes.
You can put it into another container. Whatever you do, if you're going to put it in a jar, it has to be put into a glass jar. Do not put it into plastic or styrofoam. I've seen idiots put this into plastic and styrofoam and it fucking melts right through and you look like a moron.
I can't believe just how inconsistent you are.
The most common thing that people do, I'm going to be honest with you, they either pour it down their kitchen sink, which is a bad move because the kitchen sink clogs all the time.
Okay. No, like seriously, wait for it.
Or the other thing that I see people do, which I'm going to do because unfortunately there's nothing else I could do with this. This is going to go down the pooper.
I hope you're fucking joking.
So like, no, let me get this straight. Or it's like, can you understand this? Because I still, like, after all these years, this is 6 years ago, I still can't make sense of it. Like, he understands that putting it in the sink isn't good because it clogs the pipes. Okay. So, in his infinite wisdom, he's putting it in the toilet. Now. I will tell you what is going to happen because this is 6 years ago, so now we have the power of premonition. Like, we can foresee the future from his perspective. He was in the shower when the shower started clogging and the toilet went blah, 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 blah. Like, apparently, he was doing this so many fucking times that he managed to clog his entire bathroom pipes.
So, yeah. This is going to go right down the shitter, which is going to be disgusting, but what can you do?
Again, like, if you're making a cooking video, you do not want to use words like the shitter.
Now it's turning into be a fucking big embarrassment.
As long as you know that you're not doing this, 10 times a day, it's not going to clog up a pipe.
It actually did clog the pipes. All of them. The one from the shower and the one from the toilet.
Oh my god.
Safest thing to do with bacon grease. Oh yeah. Hot fucking.
Wait. Someone noticed that there are magazines by the toilet. No fucking way. Is this legit? Are there magazines
Not
by the
doing
toilet?
this,
Hold on.
10 times a day, it's not gonna
Look
clog.
how much grease though, and this is like he's not even cooking something that's supposed to be that greasy.
Up a pipe.
Oh my god.
Where's the are these the magazines?
Safest thing to do with bacon grease. Oh yeah. Hot fucking potatoes. Oh yeah, look at that shit in my trash. Oh, that looks delightful, doesn't it?
You fucking donkey.
The other thing, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like frying because when I fry, oh, I can't clean the pan. Well, that's because you're an idiot.
You fucking donkey.
Whenever you're done with grease like this, you immediately put something in the pan to separate the grease from the pan. So, immediately get that pan cooled down. Immediately, I didn't say cool down, but I'm putting hot water in it, by the way. Do not ever put like super ice cold water in a really super hot pan. Where I live, the climate is temperate, but if you live in like a cold or hot area, you might break the fucking pan.
What the fuck? I don't think the climate affects cooking. I call bullshit on that. Like, this is probably he picked up on the internet. No, I do think that regardless of where you live, if you put cold water on a hot pan, eventually it will break. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think, like, the people in Africa are going to get different results than the people at the North Pole.
But anyway, fill the pan with water, get the soap in there right away. it separates the grease from the pan, so later on when you go to clean the pan, it's a lot easier. I have a dishwasher, and unfortunately it does not clean these pans very well. From experience, I can tell you that. Now, the biggest problem with my eggs, I can tell you right now, is because I was cooking with one hand, I wasn't able to multitask, and the cheese has burned on the edges.
You're a great fucking talker, but you're a shit cook.
Okay, this is the second fucking egg.
To finish the plate, obviously, this is a hot pan.
I know it's fucking hot.
The bacon, as soon as I'm done making the sandwiches, I'm going to put that in this freezer bag, and I'm going to get it into the freezer immediately. But to finish the sandwiches, just for, you know, cook's sake, we're going to put 2 pieces of bacon on each sandwich. The bacon is nice and crispy. You know, you can cook the bacon however you like.
Fucking shut up!
Oh, my fucking bread just hit the floor.
You dropped one. Now, look, I will say this. He's been walking barefoot all over, went to the bathroom, went to the kitchen. But on top of that, like, let's say you're the type of individual that likes to eat food from the ground. Surely you will not do this on a live stream with 100,000 viewers. I think like he got like that much on his actual video. Surely you're going to let it go, right? Like, sure, you must.
God damn it. That's a cooking faux pas. You can't have bread on the goddamn floor.
Oh my god, leave it! Leave it! Leave it! Fucking leave it!
With bacon, anyway, raw bacon sometimes does not taste that good. It depends on what kind of bacon you're eating.
Oi, Bozo, are you fucking stupid?
I just... Yeah, well, look, it's just yeah, that's a pro gamer move right there. Hold on, I got a super chat for $5. Let me read it really fast. I just trapped the first Varroa Destructor Mite ever. This is critter that kills the honeybees, and no trap has ever succeeded in trapping them. I wish I could be excited for you, but I honest to God, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Raw bacon sometimes does not taste good. Mr. Words, this is not even like one of DSP's worst videos. And it's not just like the thing that he does. It's his personality as well. I remember when he was giving, like the reason he got really upset, he upset the internet was like 2 things. He was doing giveaways back when you had the DVD ROMs, right? So you'd go to Target and you'd buy a game. And you'd be like, okay, so now you have like Diablo 3, and it's like the disc inside. He would say like, okay, well, I'm going to give away Diablo 3, but he wouldn't give away the actual game. He would just give the casing, and he would also give like the art book, I guess. But it wasn't like a deluxe edition. It was like literally him just giving away the casing. And it was usually like, you know, like if people subscribe or something like that. But the funny part was like he had a fight stick and it was broken. So like one friend bought it from him, I think. I don't lend it from him, right? Like a friend of his asked like, okay, if it's broken and you don't use it, can I have it? So DSP gives it to him, the guy repairs it, and then DSP demands it back. Like this is the type of person we're talking about. There are still game discs? I refuse to believe it. I bet like you have game discs that install a little bit and then you still need to go online in order to install the rest. Alright, let's read the actual article that you guys came here for. Let me see if I can find it really fast. So apparently there is now a test that NBC News tells us about where women are encouraged to use fictional characters in order to judge their men. You know, like this is fascinating because you keep hearing feminists say, oh my god, we can't have unrealistic depiction of women in comic books because then men will have unrealistic standards and unrealistic expectation. Yeah, because people who read comic books are renowned for swimming in a tsunami of pussy. Like this is how it's like when I was reading comic books and playing video games, with ushikushi characters. Like, I kept having my phone vibrating because women were calling me nonstop, and I was like, no, I'm sorry, you're not as beautiful as Morrigan from Dragon Age, and therefore I will not go out with you. But apparently, like, women actually do this. Like, I am a bit surprised, but according to MSLSD News, we are told that, yes, like, they look at fictional stuff, and they judge their men based on fiction. It's like the new question on a first date or your dating profile. What are your thoughts on the Barbie movie? What if you're like saying that you haven't seen it? Man, I wish that a feminist would ask me, like, what are your thoughts on the Barbie movie? And I would be like, well, where do I begin? Women around the world, I love the fact that they literally believe that, you know, like, women in like a village of Africa cares about the latest Hollywood release. I don't think like women in China or women in India care, because they got like their own Chinese thing and they got Bollywood and shit. But okay, women around the world are taking their boyfriends to see Barbie in hopes of answering one fundamental question: is he enough? Across social media, many women have been encouraging one another to use movie as a litmus test to gauge whether their male dates can understand or are at least receptive to its feminist messaging. Again, for those of you who do not understand the feminist messaging, it's like this. Barbie Land is a matriarchy. The women have all of the positions of power, like they're doctors, lawyers, politicians. The Kens are homeless, and they spend their days on the beach, and they basically live to please the Barbies, which don't even acknowledge them, because what they care about is making friends with other women. So they go to the real world because Barbie gets cellulitis. I'm not kidding, that's literally the story. They go to the real world, and Ken realizes that the patriarchy must be implemented in Barbie Land. It takes 5 minutes for him to do so. All the Barbies are now happy, except a few. And the ones that aren't happy, they have to solidify the election, right? Like fortify the election, and also kidnap other Barbies in order to indoctrinate them into the way of feminism and teach them that they're actually being oppressed. Now, what's interesting is that basically the author tries to say, well, yeah, but like you see, the patriarchy is it's not good when any gender is oppressed. Right? But the message from the movie is that Barbies and Ken can't work together. Like, literally, this is the messaging. That, like, no matter what happens, right? So, like, within the Ken's patriarchy, within the beginning, within the late, like, the messaging is that Barbie and Ken are, like, two separate entities which are toxic for each other when they're together. That's the feminist messaging of the movie. Also, the Barbie that, but by the way, like when Ken was having his patriarchy, almost everyone was happy. But when Barbie fucked it up, like almost no one was happy, and then she leaves Barbie Land for the actual patriarchy of the real world. Like that, you know, this is what happens when like a progressive person tries to write something. It makes absolutely no sense. My hentai game makes more sense than this shit. But what's also interesting is that when the Kens do what they want, everyone is happy. Well, at least like 90% of people are happy, right? Like when Kens do their way. When Kens listen to Barbie, they end up destitute, shirtless, and starving for attention. And ironically, like, this is the message. When the men listen to the women, they end up shirtless, homeless, and starving for attention. When the men do what they want, both the women and the Kens are happy. That's the messaging. And this is a feminist film made by a feminist. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if there's a movie critic in the audience that has seen this, go like, no, V, you're wrong because such and such. But I don't think so. I genuinely believe that this is the message that the movie is setting out to put out. You can go on Twitter, photo artist. Nicole Hoffler, a 32-year-old woman from Cologne, Germany, said she calls it the Barbie test. It's like the new question on a first date or your dating profile. What are your thoughts on the Barbie movie? Because if a guy really doesn't want to see it, or he's not open to talking about it, or what, even worse, if he's seen it and thinks it's not a good movie, he doesn't get the point, I think it's a no-go. I think that if you're a 32-year-old woman, you may not be able to afford to be this level of picky. Your mother wasn't this level of picky, and your mother probably had a husband by the age of 32. I'm just saying, you know, but because here's what's also interesting: like women at the age of 32, they get to be picky. But if you say that you wouldn't date a woman at the age of 32, then you're a misogynist, sexist, bigot, low-value man, they call it. It's like, why though? No, but like seriously, like a 32-year-old woman giving advice to other women. Look, if you're a woman, do not take advice from a 32-year-old woman that's dating. Like, she should have been hitched by now. I'm not saying like there may be some issue, like there may be some, like the thing with women, right? Is that, and this is what my mom said. Just before you pull up the sexist card. Up until the age of 20, 22, a woman who maintains her virginity is a virtue. But after that age, it becomes a question mark. You know, it's like, well, why didn't she? You know, it's kind of like, if no one wants, you know, you got like 5 cars in a parking lot, right? And you see people driving 4 of them. Like, every time, you know, people take 4 of them for a ride. But, like, that 5 car is never driven. And people are like, well, what's wrong with that car? Why does no one drive it? It's kind of the same here. It's kind of like applying for a job. You know? Like, if you apply for a job and you're 18, like, it's reasonable. If you apply for a job and it's 22, it's reasonable. But if you apply for a job and you're 32, and the employer asks you, like, well, have you worked before? And you say no. It kind of raises some alarm flags, doesn't it? I mean, it's kind of the same if you think about it. I'm not sure I've ever met a woman who was still a virgin at 20. Oh, I did. To her pleasant surprise, her boyfriend passed with flying colors. And by the way, you know, this is why men lie. This is why men lie, because, like, you just know, like, okay, well, this is the correct answer to say. Yeah, I've seen Barbie. Oh my god, it's so good. It's such a nice movie. It's amazing. I would see it again. To her pleasant surprise, her boyfriend passed with flying colors. Wait, hold on a little bit. So, like, this woman is dating at 32 and she has a boyfriend on top of that? Hoffler, who started her boyfriend's reaction to the film on TikTok, said that she had originally planned to glam up in a pink dress and enjoy the movie alone because she didn't expect him to be interested in Barbie. Until he asked to join her, digging up a baby pink shirt to match her outfit. This is something else that I would think it's selfish, you know, like forcing someone to see a movie. Like, for example, if, well, my wife actually likes anime and likes horror. But I did have, like, girlfriends who didn't like horror movies. Like, I wouldn't force them to see a horror movie, right? Like, if I know that they don't like it, and then to claim, it's like, oh, well, she doesn't like horror movies, so clearly I'm not going to date her anymore. It's like, it's so shallow, isn't it? But it's literally what they encourage to do with men. They're like basically saying, well, if a man doesn't like Barbie, then ditch him. Like, dude, it's a commercial film. She and several other women who spoke with NBC News said that watching Barbie felt like seeing their everyday experiences showcased on the big screen. This can't be real. This is a joke. Like, these people live through fiction, don't they? Like, this is the modern person, you know, who lives in a pod and only interacts with the world from fiction. And they get their news through editorialism. This is why during Black Lives Matter protests, they wouldn't allow people to just stream the raw footage on Twitch. Because they were aware that people aren't prepared to just look at it as if they're looking through a window. Like, it needs editorializing. You need the news to tell you. Fiery but mostly peaceful protest. Engineered loneliness, engineered revisioning of the family unit. You should make a YouTube channel. That is so smart. It is true, though. It is engineered loneliness. She and several other women who spoke with MSLSD News said that watching Barbie felt like seeing their everyday experiences showcased on the big screen. But Hoffler said that after having heard so many men react to the movie defensively, she felt lucky to have a partner who actually actively wanted to discuss the impacts of the patriarchy afterwards. Oh, I would fucking love to discuss it with her. But I wouldn't want her as a partner. And, is this the woman that we're talking? No, she doesn't look 32. Hold on. What the fuck is this? Oh, I can't play it because copyright. But anyway, I think it's a great movie, but like it would definitely be for the wrong reasons. Like, yeah, you know, so let's recap. Like, we have this perfect society that like 90% of women are happy. So the feminists are now kidnapping the happy women, teaching them that they're actually being oppressed, fortifying the election, and after destroying that system and making almost everyone less happy, the feminists are going to the real world, to the real patriarchy, in order to make people miserable there as well. Like, that is what the movie has sent. You know, like, that is the message that I got from the movie. He just confirmed many things I always do. Like his empathy and how emotionally intelligent he is. Yeah, but emotionally intelligent can also be manipulative, right? Like, this is what emotional intelligence means. Like, hiding your emotions, right? So, like, not breaking in tears, understanding how other people feel. Being emotionally intelligent is not necessarily a good thing. In a relationship, I mean. I think it's easy for a woman to understand the movie, but I never expected him to get everything at this level. But what if he identifies as a woman tomorrow, dear? Like, I love the fact that the progressives are still juggling with third wave and fourth wave feminism put into one box. Like, at one point they will say that representation is important because women have different life experiences and you need to understand them. But the other point they say, well, any person can just identify as a woman, and the moment they do, they become a woman. And it's like, okay, but like, what about those lived experiences? This is why leftists get upset at you for pointing up ugly characters. They can't distinguish reality from fiction. I genuinely believe this is the case. Joanna, do you do the Barbie test when you're dating? He sounds like a beta and a cock. Well, maybe he actually liked the movie. I don't know. Katie Alvarez, 21, posted a viral TikTok video that she can't relate to all the women lamenting that their boyfriends didn't understand the movie. Alvarez said that her boyfriend suggested that plan the whole outing, including finding a Barbie-themed outfit for himself that specifically matched hers. Oh my fucking god, do people actually do that? Like, the level of consumerism is astonishing. Like, dressing up for a fucking movie, it's bizarre. I don't get it. I know that other people do, but like, it's just weird. After the movie, she said that he listened to and validated the thoughts she shared about navigating the world as a woman. Oh, see, I disagree. I don't think like people talk this PR speech in real life. I think she made it up. No one uses in real life the word navigating the world as a woman. This is corpo speak. Alright? Unless she's the HR lady and she's got like this speech hard-coded in her brain. No one uses this fucking expression. No one navigates the world as a woman or a man. I have a lot of friends who had the boyfriend who are like, that has nothing to do with me, or I'm not interested in that, so I don't want to go watch it. A lot of men just see Barbie and are like, no, but I think I'm just surprised to have a man who let me and my opinion and to try to put this own spin on it. It's so bizarre, you know? It's like, again, like if a woman says she doesn't like a movie, it's like, okay, well, she doesn't like the movie, that's fine. But like these people make it somehow like life or death thing. It's just... Hasana Bodera, 18, France, said that TikTok video that she thinks discussion of Barbie will serve as a new test of compatibility. Also interesting that if this is the case, if women actually set their standards based on fiction, notice that every single Ken is a Chad. I mean, you have like some Ken that are feminized, but that's like part of the joke. But other than that, every single Ken is well-built, athletic. Like, you have fat Barbies, you have, like, Chaquito Barbies, you got, like, all these different body types. You even have a Barbie with disability. But for some goddamn reason, all the Kens are perfect. It's weird how they expect men to go see a movie marketed towards women. It's not even that. They like, if you criticize Barbie in the beginning, they would say that it's a movie made for children. It's definitely not made for children, given the level of cursing and the themes that are being explored here. I think it would be great if men could all watch it. I like them to understand. It's like taking a new point of view. They get to see how it makes women feel. No, they get to see how liberal women feel from the United States. Like, the same expression of feeling, I don't think is shared by conservative women. I don't think it's shared by Chinese women. I don't think it's shared by Muslim women. You know, like, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you get to speak for other women. Like, this is the thing that really bothers me with the modern leftist ideology. It's like, you get to feel that you can speak for other people that never elected or represented you. Another woman from Indonesia shares the sentiment. She has found the themes to be personally relatable. What I like is that the article just cherry picks like women who agree. Like, I have met many women who disagree. Like Anna, that Star Wars girl. You know, like she has a different take about this movie. But for some fucking reason, despite the fact that she's got like what, 1 million viewers, like she's a notable figure. Surely they could have heard of her. They're not mentioning her, right? Like they're not including her. For some weird and bizarre reason, like this article does not include a single woman that has like a negative opinion in order to install the rest. Which is interesting because it would generate more clicks and buzz, right? Like it would generate more conversation if the article basically presented both sides of the issue. And I don't think like anyone would have gotten even upset if the article had presented both sides of the issue. But for some reason, they just don't. They want to pretend that all women are like this. That literally, like, all women want you to see Barbie. Which leads me to assume that this is sponsored content for the fucking movie. This is what it is. It's a marketing campaign for the movie. There is no other explanation. And it's very, very thinly veiled. As if, you know, like, this is not just a movie, but it's like some deep esoteric lore for society. Thank you for the £5, Crazy Cripple. I appreciate it. I don't know if I can say Crazy Cripple. I may get in trouble with YouTube. I'm joking. No, I'm not. But still. Maybe soon we will get there, where even saying the word cripple is problematic. Right. We've finished for today. I'm going to go making the other videos that I have. Thank you all for the super chats. Appreciate it. Hopefully you got a little bit of laugh out of the stream, and I will see you guys tomorrow.